Well, and one part of that question is if that, then you do a colon cleanse, how important is it to quickly, resupply the probiotics or something like that, and what's recommended then?
Well, depends on what the colon cleanse is. If you're using like, I mean, I would never do a colon cleanse that would actually diminish my microbiome so that I can have to replenish anything.
Okay.
People overdo it, for example, with essential oils and herbs, and they kill their microbiome. I think that's beyond what you're supposed to do. I think a colon cleanse is supposed to be gentle and not affect your microbiome. So I don't see a
Yeah.
purpose. Yeah.
That colonic, like when I go get that colonic, I'm always astounded at what came out because it's usually during a fast. It's usually when I'm either consuming little to no solid food or not consuming food at all for days. And then I'll go get a colonic and I'm like, where's all this stuff coming from? Because, you're watching it come through. It's a closed system. Like you're watching it come through. And I'm just like, this is crazy. Like, and the people that work at the facility are like, yeah, this could be 15 years worth of food that gets stuck in a fold. Like your stomach lining is not straight. It's it's cavernous, and food gets chunked in there. That's why it's so important to jump up and down and move around and move the body and do all these things that most people aren't doing anymore as we sit in front of these command centers all day making a living. Um, it's really important. So when you flood and you push water up there, you're stretching everything out. You're taking these folds that have food all the way up here and stretching it out. And all of a sudden, all that food gets pushed out, and then the water just flushes it out. I think that's very healthy.
Yeah, it's amazing. Hey, Holland, I was going to ask you like how you view or like in your curriculums. I know this is a massive word, but for like longevity and building, a lot of folks are focused on health and living longer and everything else. But where do all these things fit in terms of like how you're kind of guiding some of your patients and
I mean, I think it's easily a quarter, if not 30% of the battle, right? Because if you don't have optimal gut health and, gut health and nutrition are so interrelated. So if you combine gut health and nutrition, that's like 50% of your health right there, right? Because the other 50% could be chronic disease, things you do to your body, lifestyle issues, genetics. So I would, that's why I would even say like, when I say one of the four pillars of health is like it's inflammation, it's the immune system, it's detox, it's stress. I'm basically saying these four things, if you change it, that will change your life. And under the inflammation side, that's gut health. If I were to summarize it, I'm not talking about like joint inflammation or whole body systemic inflammation. I'm really referring to your gut. The immune system is really a combination of stem cells, and then stress is your neuroendocrine system. And then the last one is detoxes. That's kind of a combination of heavy metals, lymphatics. So in my model, I represent it as 1/4, but if you really kind of combine it with nutrition, it's pretty much half the battle.
true. Well, and everything is a system, right? So it's like everything affects everything else, which is really the tricky thing. I mean, even like I was saying, even in my own, basic research and just kind of getting a clue ahead of this, I had known Craig from some of your stuff about, the immune system, connection with gut health. But honestly, like I really did not appreciate the cognitive side of it.